Hello, everybody. Welcome to Train of Thought. I'm Johnny, your conductor, and I'm asking that everyone aboard evacuate the train's play place ASAP. There's, been a spill.
And I'm Daro. I'm Conductor Junior. I'm just a little guy. Ooh-woo. I'm sorry about that.
I would also like to make a public announcement to everyone on the train looking to adopt that I have a friendly mouse right here who would love to find his forever home, which is not here.
I'm getting kicked off the podcast.
You're just too baby.
Now it's this Train of Thought with the Johnny.
Finally, the interview show of my dreams. I can become the late night host I've always wanted to be.
I hope you guys like Weezer, because that's all it's going to be.
Welcome to Train of Thought. Today we're talking about the Blue Album. No, today we're not talking about the Blue Album, but we are talking about things that probably existed in the era of the Blue Album and not so much in the era of the Teal Album, which are, fun architecture, fun websites, fun design, and the sort of defunification of these things over time. We'll get more specific once we kick off the timer, but I'm sure just if you've been on Twitter at all, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you were alive in the 2000s, that also helps. All right, are we good to start the timer?
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Let's just jump right in. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, leave a dead body on my... I already did that joke. Anyway. Hey, Daro.
Yeah.
Did you know that at Target they used to have like a little food court area where you could buy pretzels and popcorn?
I don't remember that, but I remember at Target they used to have these neon lights that
Yeah. No, and the food court area, funnily enough, had the most neon lights. But yeah, no, they this is something that I'd totally forgotten about, along with the sort of weird neon lights that they had. Because I've been so used to the way Target's been for the last like 10, 15 years. But then like seeing images of like popcorn and paper Target bags and like these weird colorful lights on the walls and stuff, I was like, oh, that's right. Target used to like have an identity other than haha, minimalist, red and white. And I gotta say, Target is one of the ones in the kind of renovation to the current aesthetic state that I think is less egregious than some other ones. I think current Target is still like an okay place to be as a shopper.
There's literally that picture of the Target ball outside of one of the buildings that was circulating like yesterday and today. So
yeah. So for people who didn't see it, it was just this really dramatic angle of a Target ball, like the red balls they have outside, and it was kind of funny because I saw a bunch of people doing edits. There was someone
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, that was a really good one. My favorite one was someone turned it into like a Sega Saturn logo and made it look like a 90s magazine ad. That was fun. But yeah, no, I mean, Target still has the balls outside. When I think it was Kirby in the Forgotten Land, when that came out, they had a little cover for it that turned them into Kirby. So it's like, oh, there's still some level of fun to be had here. Not so much with some other brands.
There's some joy in the world, unlike McDonald's, which has de-joyed.
God. Everyone, I'm sure, is aware of the destruction of something once beautiful. You know, McDonald's, famously, you had the...
Yeah, am I at McDonald's or am I at the Eastern Bloc?
The Eastern Bloc?
Like, Eastern Europe.
Oh, yeah. God, it's so, like, it's just weird, too, because, like, McDonald's had the,
They had, like, the golden arches.
Well, yeah, I mean, they still do, to a degree, as a logo, not so much as the, like the big... Well, no, they do still have them on the signs, but, what I was gonna say is, some of you, more cultured individuals amongst our audience may be familiar with the Twitter account, non-standard McDonald's, run by Max Krieger. I'm Mutuals. I really should know how to say his name. Anyway, Max, if you're listening to this, good work. Sorry. But yeah, like McDonald's has a bunch of, or used to have, still has a couple, a bunch of like variants where some McDonald's would be themed, like, the rock and roll McDonald's. But even the ones that weren't themed, they had like a very like, the red roof, the like you said, the golden arches. Like, it was more colorful. A lot of them had play places. And then at some point, McDonald's decided we are an adult chain for adults and grown-ups. So we're going to turn all of our buildings black and brown and serve coffee and get rid of the play places and anything
welcome
unique
to
about
Bulgarian
each
McDonald's, you know?
Yeah. And so now thinking of like the most unique McDonald's I've been to is just one sort of near me that just happens to be 2 floors for some reason, and that's the unique thing about it, is just that it's 2 floors for no discernible reason.
Well, if you go downstairs, you can get the basic McDonald's menu, but if you go upstairs, you can get the high roller
menu.
McDonald's menu.
You can pay $25 for a Bigger Mac. It's a very
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, McDonald's also, and I have conflicting feelings on this. They also have really started trending towards, prioritizing like the ordering kiosks, rather than just going up and being like, I want a burger.
I mean, I'd rather do that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's part of why I say I'm conflicted on it, because I kind of like the ordering kiosks, but also I don't know. I mean, coupled with all the other stuff, it's weird to say, but it makes McDonald's feel so impersonal.
Well, if you've ever worked fast food, you'll soon learn the least amount of people talking to you, the better. Especially if it's a thing where they're like, I can't have tomatoes, they taste gross, can you take them off, and also can you replace them with all this and this and that. This is why mobile apps are the only good thing to use, because that way you could just edit it and they'll just read it on the thing.
Right, that is something useful about the kiosk, is if you have like a really specific order, you don't have to be like, and can I get this and that and also this and that and this and that and this and that and then although I guess, I mean, part of the utility of using the kiosk corporation side is that they can probably downsize on staff to some degree, which in the world we live in, I think it's good when there are jobs, but also working at McDonald's, not exactly everyone's favorite job, not exactly my favorite job. I haven't worked at McDonald's. I just refuse to.
I've worked at Taco Bell. That's close.
Yeah, that's comparable. I've deliberately never had like a fast food job. I worked as a dishwasher at like a local place once. That was okay.
People behind, like the workers, the employees, they could just take whatever they want from the soda fountain.
Oh, that owns actually.
It's just
I'd
like
love to be
including
that powerful.
the freezies, like the Baja Blast freeze. They could just take that. It's like, who cares?
What? I'm going to Taco Bell. We did kind of have that at the place I worked, where it's like, yeah, you could just get whatever drinks you want from the soda fountain all the time, but it like became a problem because I was drinking so much pink lemonade every day. So I had to like limit myself. I had to be like, okay, when I come in, because it's only it was only like a 4-hour shift too, so that's a lot of pink lemonade and not that much time. Especially when it got slow and there was nothing to do, you just sipping for fun. But yeah, no, it got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna just have one glass of pink lemonade and then water for the rest of the shift, and that'll do me. It's kind of like what I had to do when I started working at that which shall not be named, where I was like, I can have some Mountain Dew as a treat, and I started drinking Mountain Dew every day, and I was like, nope, one a week. We can't do this.
They're like, uh-oh, this is gross.
This is becoming a problem for my body. I think I've definitely already told this story to you. I might have even told it on the podcast, but there was the one time, I think like a month or two ago, where I had it was like a pink lemonade flavored Mountain Dew, after like not having a Mountain Dew for a month or two, and I was like, this is good, I'm glad I did this, but also this is solidifying that Mountain Dew is a sometimes drink, because my body is not happy with me right now. So you just gotta kind of level yourself. So I mean, I guess in some regards it's good that Target no longer allows you to purchase pretzels and popcorn, because I would be eating pretzels and popcorn every time I walked in the building that way.
You said you weren't going to name it, but now you have.
Well, I didn't explicitly say that I'd worked there, though. I was just circling back around to our prior point.
Oh, yeah, like the train of thought.
I worked at Target. It was okay. Yeah, we've reached our destination quite early. But yeah, no, like, God, that's got to have been hell for the custodians. Because if people are just... I guess there's still, like, Starbucks in Target, which, can I just say, this might be a hot take, but I'm not a coffee drinker, and I'm brave. I'm not a part of the bourgeoisie. I'll say it. Starbucks, significant downgrade from having, like, a little snack bar and a Pizza Hut. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of Targets also used to just have tiny Pizza Huts in them. Actually, I'm positive, because now that I've spilled the beans that I worked there, walking through, like, the kind of offices part of Target, like the employee area, there's still a manual on how to operate the Pizza Hut in there. Awesome. Like, it's like, yeah, operating a Pizza Hut Express. But we haven't had that there for years. It's been a Starbucks.
There was there's a department store, they call them BJ's, and get your laughs out now.
Oh, dude, Blowjob's department store?
Yeah.
I really could have come up with something more clever for that.
But the one that we had used to have...
The Blahaj department store?
What? Blahaj?
Never mind, forget about it.
The one we had
That's not how you say that word.
It had a Subway in it.
Oh yeah. Eat fresh.
It doesn't have it anymore. But I wouldn't say that's the defunification of BJ's architecture, because it's literally just a warehouse store, so on the outside it still just looks like a box.
Well, also, like, is Subway really that fun?
No. The only fun thing is the Subway pizzas.
Oh yeah. Do they have pizza there?
I had a Subway pizza before.
I'm a picky little eater, so whenever I go to Subway, I just have a bag of chips, because it is not where I go to eat food. Although this isn't architecture, but can we talk about how the sanctity of the $5 footlong has been so destroyed? They're like $8 now. It's ridiculous. It's so... They made a song, Daro.
Yeah, it's so tiring being like, okay, here's our thing. It's this much dollars. And then it's like, but what if we made it more dollars?
Yeah, and it's like, wow, you've gotten people in the door with your clever little marketing ploy, and now you think you're hot shit.
Remember
and you don't
the dollar
need to do that
menu?
Anymore.
If you remember the dollar menu...
I do remember the dollar menu.
It's time to start crying, because...
I ain't that no more.
I
talk to my mom all the time about McDonald's, how, like, I don't understand why anyone, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate comments to the degree people actually listen to this episode and comment on it. But I don't understand why anyone would set foot in a McDonald's anymore. Because to me, McDonald's is bad food, but the point of it is that it's cheap, and it's not cheap anymore, and the food is still bad. So you're just getting ripped off.
You know what's bad food but still cheap? That's right, Taco Bell, kind of. It's still...
nothing's cheap anymore, but it's cheap enough.
Nothing's cheap anymore, but Taco Bell is still, like...
Wendy's is cheaper than McDonald's, too.
If you get a $10 thing at Wendy's, you get, like, a burger. If you get a $10 thing at Taco Bell, you're going to go into a food coma, because you're getting so much stuff anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of great. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is Five Guys, where it's never been cheap, and it's currently not cheap, but the food is good, so you can't complain that much.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll still complain. You know,
That's
speaking
true.
of funification, Five Guys knows what's up.
I love Five Guys.
They're like if Johnny Rockets wasn't, like, gross amusement park food.
Dude, can we talk about fucking Johnny Rockets for a second?
Yeah, go off.
Dude... I haven't been in a while, because the only Johnny Rockets near me is literally the Mall of America.
Yeah, the only Johnny Rockets that I have ever seen before was Six Flags New England, so you know.
Yeah, they're one of those where it's like they build them in malls, but only specifically, well, not even just malls, specifically like you know, high traffic, like touristy areas like that. And I could tell you nothing about the food. other than like it was fries, it was a malt. Like it's a 50s malt shop. That's the whole bit. But it overlooks Nickelodeon Universe. And they have like their whole aesthetic, and they had like a functional like jukebox with a bunch of stuff from the 50s, and I'm like, that's fun. That's themed. I can get all of the joy of the 50s aesthetic without thinking more deeply about how the 50s kind of sucked, actually. This is great.
Guys, you know, the only things that existed in the 50s were rock and roll jukeboxes and black and white checkerboards.
Don't forget sock hops. We love the sock hops.
I don't know what
No one
that
knows
is.
what those are, but I know that they existed in the 50s.
And also...
When you take your girl to the sock hop and then get malts afterwards
Yeah, also
while listening
malts
to
were a
Chuck
thing.
Berry on the jukebox. Yeah. That's what it was.
I don't think I ever had a malt. I think as a kid it probably just scared me. That was a scary word. It's like, this isn't a milkshake or a smoothie. This is a secret third thing, and it's out to get me.
Dude, I remember I had a conversation, and I'm unfortunately I'm still not particularly clear. It might be because I don't have malts that often. But I remember I was having a conversation once, and I was like, okay, so just to be clear, what is the difference between a milkshake and a malt? And someone's answer was like, oh, well, malts have malt powder in them. And there was no further elaboration, and I was like, yeah, but what does that mean?
I'm Googling it. It's a grain or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a textural thing where malts are thicker than milkshakes or something. But I really don't know because I don't have malts enough.
I think as a kid I thought there was something about chocolate in there, but I think I was just dumb and stupid.
No, because you could get a chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, I don't know. Because when I think of malt in my head, what I think of is the candy that is, not Maltesers. That's like British people food. I'm talking about like Whoppers, but not like the Burger
Yeah,
King.
like malt balls. Yeah,
malt balls. I think of malt balls, and I think about how disgusting and truly vile those candies are.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
As a chocolate, disinterested. Like, I mean,
Oh,
Oreos,
yeah, no,
brownies,
that makes
those are
sense.
fine, but chocolate bars are kind of gross. Whoppers are a new level of disgusting.
I was gonna say that does make sense because I was like, yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of hate for Whoppers. I don't really like them that much, but if they're there, I'll eat them. And then I remembered that you don't like chocolate that much to begin with. Like, I like chocolate. I love chocolate even, and I think Whoppers are just, like, okay. Like, I would never deliberately choose to eat a Whopper. It just doesn't happen. They're not that good.
I'd rather my Whoppers be burger-shaped.
Jesus Christ. Which, I'm trying to think about how other restaurants were kind of affected by this defunification. Wendy's, I forgot, their boxes used to be, like, yellow.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yellow and red.
Oh, I thought you meant their buildings. I don't remember what old Wendy's buildings look like, but
yeah, no, I was referring to the packaging of their food, which is something I always forget because now it's the sleek, minimalistic red and white.
I was never
it's the
around.
Target color scheme.
I was never around for the yellow Wendy's arc. I was around for it. I just didn't go to Wendy's as a kid.
I'm just kind of interested in why they've seemingly excised yellow from their color scheme and instead just gone the red and white path. Is it McDonald's resemblance? Because McDonald's thing is red and yellow.
Yeah, but
with McDonald's, red is the dominant color
red.
Anyway.
It's like mostly all red for McDonald's.
So Wendy's making yellow the dominant color would make sense. I mean, there's the theorem about certain colors making people hungrier.
Yeah, but I think it's
those,
because if you look at Wendy, if you look at her hair, that's not yellow hair.
That's true. Although her outfit is like light blue, you could maybe make it light blue, but maybe that's not as much of a food color.
That's okay.
Because know what? Red, hunger, color theory. I gotta figure out what I'm thinking of exactly here. Red and yellow as a combination can make us more hungry.
Let's go. Windows 3.1 hot dog stand colors.
There it is. Well, actually, yeah, come to think of it, a lot of restaurants have kind of the red and yellow thing going on, like Burger King and KFC, too. Well, KFC doesn't have yellow.
It's just white.
KFC's just white and red. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I'm thinking.
Do you know what else has become significantly less fun as the years have gone by?
You tell me.
Every logo for everything ever.
For
While we're on the
real.
topic of restaurants, I have another non-restaurant example. But while we're on the
I've got a
topic,
good example too.
we talk about Pizza Hut for a second.
I was
We
going to
talk
say
about
that
what they've done.
Well, I'm going to say that the Pizza Hut buildings are still pretty fun.
That's true. Yeah.
They're still the huts.
Actually, wait. How have we not? Because we brought up Taco Bell multiple times. Can we talk about how Taco Bell buildings suck now?
Except for the one that's near me, which is still very party.
Oh yeah, it's still the old school one.
Yeah, the one I've sent you before. You saw it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because when you Google Taco Bell building, there's like various stages. And I think there are still a couple of all of them. There's one with like a really old logo and color scheme that's not even like purple at all, which is great. I like that one. There's a slightly more modern like 2000s-y, early 2010s-y one with a do not cross tape line on it, where it's the same basic, shape. It's got the little arch to it. It's got the little like roof, tiled roof thing. But then you have like what happened to the Taco Bell near me, where it's just a box now with purple and white lights.
It's just...
And it looks like dystopia.
God.
God, and then I'm pretty sure it's in Minnesota.
I'm gonna be honest though, I do think I like this more than a modern McDonald's and a modern Wendy's, mainly just because of the purple lights. It actually, has something to it.
I agree in a sense, because I think the color is at least more interesting, but I also can't help but feel as though it just looks like an evil like Lex Luthor building. Okay, wait. I need to figure out if the concept drive-through only Taco Bell is indeed a Minnesota thing, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in Brooklyn Park. Yeah, they built a location specifically in Minnesota.
Did they finally make the drive-through Taco Bell real?
Yes, it is a drive-through only building with food elevators, and it looks like it is the most Lex Luthor looking restaurant I've ever seen.
I remember seeing the stupid concept back when I worked at the Taco Bell. It was so funny. I was like, "Hey guys, look at this nightmare."
Yeah, it's awful. I don't like it. It's like drive-through only.
It looks like a
dude.
gas station.
I guess in a sense you're fueling up with gas. But like I don't know. Like, I get a lot of people, they just want to go through the drive-thru, and I often do too. That's fine. There's no issue with that. But also, like, what? When we get food, why can't it... Are we so jaded that nothing can be fun? I'm not... I don't know. I don't even fully know the point I'm making. It's not that, like, oh, we're going inside is fun, but, like, I don't know. I guess
sometimes I want to sit down with Ronald McDonald, but he's...
I want to sit inside
but
and
clowns
eat
are
with
scary,
my
and you can't have a clown because of the 2016 incident where all the clowns killed everyone. And,
well, also we don't want to market too much to kids because controversy.
And also he's like the charity guy. He's the charity clown now.
Oh, that's right. They did make him the charity clown.
It's okay. Grimace is still... He's allowed because he's just a purple lump. But then they forgot about him after his birthday.
Why did they... So in the Grimace's birthday marketing, why did they make all those weird fucked up Grimaces with like 12 eyes?
I'm
still unclear on that.
I didn't look at any of the marketing because I'm not a corporate shill.
Oh. Well... Dude, you didn't even check into the Game Boy Advance.
I did not even play the
ROM or the Game
I didn't
Boy
even
Color
play
ROM,
the game. Even though it has retro achievement support, you think I'd play that? No,
yeah.
I'd never play that.
My strategy, I didn't play it. My strategy is I'll play it in order to make a video about it in 10 years when it's been forgotten about. I'm not going to do it when it's relevant. I'm not giving them free advertising when it's relevant. That's what they want. You see, I'm very clever.
Yeah, don't make memes.
I'll give them free advertising years later.
Don't make memes about dying from the Grimace Shake now. Do it later when the trend's over.
Well, I mean, the trend is over. But it's not like... It's not been phased out of the public consciousness yet, We gotta... we gotta wait until like it's how like 2013 memes have had like a resurgence now when everyone's forgotten about them and they're like so past being uncool that they circle back around to being funny again. Like, I think that's what we need to do with shit like the stupid fucking 2010s viral marketing, which, can I just say, that is another deep aspect of the defunification of everything is, and this is not even just like architecture or businesses or websites, but, why's everything gotta be ironic now?
It was all Wendy's fault.
It was. Like, unironically, in terms of marketing, Wendy's was like, though, isn't it so funny? Isn't it so funny when the brand Twitter account is all cynical? And it's like, yeah, it was the first time. And then everyone did it. And now, I mean, like, to be fair, I don't know what's really preferable. I don't know if brand Twitter accounts acting all cynical. Well, I don't know. I think they're extensions of the same thing, actually. I promise you I will finish this point. But it's like, I don't know. Advertising is just advertising, you know? It's gonna be kind of shitty and cynical, whether it's like, yeah, McDonald's is the happiest place you could be as a child. It's like utopia. It's like heaven, except your arteries get clogged. Versus Ronald McDonald trying to act like your best friend on Twitter. I think both of those are really cringe in different ways. Like, neither of them are good. But I think, I don't know, maybe the second one just rubs me the wrong way more because there's so much less, like, I feel like when they make commercials of McDonald's being like, ooh, look at this.
Look at Ronald. He can make a snowman real with his clown magic.
Yeah, I feel like there's a further degree of removal, a further degree of, you know, like, it's a bit different than, oh, look, guys, McDonald's gets it. McDonald's is up on the trends. It's like, no, McDonald's is a corporate entity that isn't your friend and isn't a fucking funny person. All their decisions are made by fucking deciding what would be the most profitable for them. This is not one person. It's not, ooh, the McDonald's social media guy really went off today. It's like, no. These decisions were made in a boardroom. They're not your fucking friend.
This is the defunification of the internet. You go to like a
website.
That's
what it is they're just spreading their fucking disgusting corporate tendrils over other things.
Guys, we need to make everything we need to make everything flat and boring and you know,
flat and boring and cynical and minimalistic and, well, I don't know, it really is just like, I don't know if it's to reflect the state of the world, how it's like, oh yeah, everyone works countless hours to make minimal amounts of money and they hate their lives, so let's really, instead of trying to make things fun, let's really just reflect how awful everyone feels all the time.
Guys, remember Flash? Adobe Flash, it was great until it was found out that it was a security nightmare. I get it. I understand why they got rid of it, but like now it's all boring. Yeah, sure, you have HTML5, but who cares?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's with a lot of things too, is the pursuit of professionalism and polish. We've lost the fun of just shit that's kind of low key, like a little bad.
I think professionalism is a scam invented by rich people.
Professionalism is silly. Yeah, no, it's like I don't know. Not to shit on any YouTubers, because I know that I certainly love a lot of YouTubers whose content is very professional.
I mean, there's one person that I'll gladly defecate on, but that's because he's racist, so it's okay.
Oh wait, which person is that?
John Tron.
Oh, well, yeah. Actually, you know what? Great case study. And person that I'm okay shitting on. Because his videos were much better before he decided that they needed sets and professional film crews and shit.
It was like, back in the day when, you know, nobody knew that he was actually, you know,
Well,
you know,
let's be clear. If you watched enough of the Game Grumps, he sure would say some words.
he would say some words, but look, I didn't watch
it.
enough of
It was
the
a
Game
little bit
Grumps.
less explicitly. Here is a genuine racist talking point, and more haha edgy humor, which still bad, but much more common back then.
Yeah. Yeah, like the old videos, if you think about it, like especially like you go back to like the one where he's talking about like Sonic R or whatever, and it's just like in his house.
I still think about that video sometimes.
And then
like,
you go ahead like forward, and then like one of the videos is like, this is not his house. This is suspiciously set like there's a goat in this video. Like, huh?
Yeah. And it's like a lot of the time those like lol red we got this gags, they don't add anything really. It's just like, oh, we could do it, so we did. And it's like, okay.
The opposite effect is I could visit this location I'm talking about, and here I am in front of this location, and that's always funny.
Yeah.
Like
that can be really good, especially if it is something like relevant to the video.
There's a reason
like,
why Tom Scott's intro became a meme for a little bit of him going, "I am here in front of, I'm in Svalbard. I'm gonna shoot a polar bear," you know?
Yeah. Like there can be fun to be had there.
Speaking of,
instead of being on a lifeless set.
Funification of the internet. Scott the Woz.
True.
Yeah, sure, it might be a quote-unquote set, but that's also his apartment.
Well, I remember Scott did an interview a while ago, which I think kind of solidified for me why he's been able to maintain a lot of the fun of his content, where he said, like, I deliberately don't want things getting too, like, big.
If things get too overproduced, you lose the charm and fun of a YouTube video, and that's a good
That's what
thing.
he said. He was like, it's important to me that my videos always have a little bit of that kind of DIY feel to them. And so that's why he's like, I could get someone to help me write or edit, but I feel like I would lose something, so I don't want that. And it's like, yeah. I think, because not to be like, if you have more than one person working on your YouTube channel, you're a fucking shit. There's a ton of YouTubers who hire editors or even write with other people that I think have maintained their feeling just fine. But I think a lot of the time, some channels will start out as just like one or two guys doing a thing, and it's fun. And then they'll evolve to the point that they feel the need to hire on like whole crews and shit and get like an office and hire like 25 people. And it's like, you don't need this. You don't need to put out videos every week that don't feel like you anymore.
There was this old group of people who played games, and they called themselves the Creatures. And, well,
that's a really good name.
I think it was mostly just people who like having fun. It was especially like during like the Minecraft beta era, where Minecraft was just a new thing. So all these people, it was fun. It was cool. And then they I guess they got like their own little office, and it was like, this is a bit weird. I mean, there were still some really good videos of them messing around in that office, but like, it sort of just, it was like not. I don't think you'd really need an office or a house if you're doing just a bunch of gaming videos.
Quick clarification. I don't think people moving over to having an office set up always immediately is like, yep, this is the death knell. But I do notice a trend sometimes where it's like, oh, the early days of them having an office is fun because it's like, oh, the two guys got an office now. And then eventually it's like, well, now in order to maintain,
it's like eventually it's
like
this
office,
anyway
we need to earn a certain amount off of the YouTube revenue.
Anyway, now the Creatures are disbanding, and it's like that was like forever ago.
Yeah,
I think also you think about like office-based like groups, and you think about like the old Achievement Hunter days, but they were always in like an office in a big company, so it was just that's how it always was.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit different if the intent of the thing to begin with is
you don't start with vibes that you never had. You were always the vibes that you had, but then you start, I don't know, I guess it was I don't know.
I mean, this is an interesting one to talk about. But yeah, no, like it's kind of weird to bring these guys up now because one of the guys came back and he's been being a little bit alt-righty.
Oh wait, what?
But,
which one?
you know, like Screw Attack was always interesting to me because Screw Attack, like, and let's be clear, I haven't watched a lot of his videos.
We've talked about Craig on this podcast before. We've already mentioned it.
That's true. I don't know why I'm being cagey about Craig. Craig makes me sad. I searched Screw Attack and the channel is called Death Battle now. That's great. But Screw Attack was a weird one because Screw Attack always kind of had the office setup and a lot of their creators were employees, but it still very much always felt like, oh, this is like friends doing stuff, and they didn't like put people together who didn't have the friend chemistry. They would like AVGN was technically a Screw Attack.
Yeah, I remember like game trailers, Screw Attack top 10, and they would cut to like the AVGN being like, "Hey nerd, what do you think about this game?" And he's like, "This game sucks," and he does like the middle finger with his power glove.
Yeah, and I mean Breno Floss was a part of that too, and it was like, again, haven't seen those videos in a while, not making definitive statements, but it had that sort of authenticity to it still, and as time went on, it felt less and less like that. You know, Handsome Tom left, Rooster Teeth bought them. Eventually, it literally just became Death Battle. You know, it was kind of the. It's weird because it was always, at least from my view, it was always kind of a corporation, but it felt like it became more corporate as it went on. You know.
That's it's just the unfortunate reality. The underlying cause of the defunification of everything is that gotta get more money, gotta get more money, more profits than last year, because stable profits is actually bad profits if you think about it, because you're not getting money, you're staying in business, which is not good. You need more money.
That's capitalism, baby. Yeah, no, and it's like, I don't know, like it's really interesting to kind of view on a level like YouTube, because so many of these channels start up as a very low-key thing and go down that path, but you can also see like there's some people who have been around a really long time and they haven't had to go down that path, or even like, oh, they have some more people involved, but it doesn't feel like, all right, and now here's the corporate approved whatever. I was mentioning there's some YouTubers I watch who have the professional vibe but don't feel so like garbagey.
That's to me, when you say like, that, I think of AlphaRad.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Where
actually, that's not what I was thinking at all. But yeah,
like early videos were very low professional, but then now he's got a lot of YouTube money, but he doesn't make scum content. He still does what he does. Yeah.
It's not to the same level, but I also feel like, especially early on, one of the channels I'd always kind of thought of as like, this would be a good way to go, is Salty DK Dan. Yeah. Because Salty has like editors and illustrators and stuff that he works with regularly, but a lot of them are just his friends.
Yeah, that's not like me, I'm JonTron, I'm gonna make a set to pretend that it's my room, you know?
No, like his videos still feel like they're the things he wants to do, and he's having fun doing them, and it's a lot of it is like, oh, this is friends doing stuff, but they have like more effort and sometimes more production put into them.
Yeah, literally, like one of my all-time favorite videos is the one where he dubbed over Summoning Sol videos, and he had like two like editor people to help him out with there. So yeah, there's like work to be done, but it's like, it's also the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, no, like stuff like that. I'm a big fan of the Pokemon H one, where there's literally one bit where it's like, hey Tracy, could you record yourself saying this into the microphone? and so his editor like comes onto the mic and just starts like talking, and that happens again later in the video. She just like hops on the mic. And it's like, it doesn't feel super weird or out of place, because it's like, oh, you can tell they get each other's sense of humor and they're just like friends. So it's like work was done to enhance this and make this funnier and get it out.
Oh no.
but it doesn't feel like it's from a different channel or that the vibe is like depleted or anything, you know?
I was talking about salty just made me think of Britney Blue Spheres now. It escaped into my mind again.
Oh, I fucking love that video.
Oh god. Anyway, shout out to Salty DK Dan.
Yeah. Hot take. I'm sure no one in our viewer base has ever expressed this opinion before. Salty DK Dan, pretty good. Oh god, even like the older stuff, like I always think about the fucking the video where he's playing the Jonas Brothers DS game and he like clips through the floor.
Oh, I don't know what older stuff constitutes as. I remember just being bored in college one day, scrolling through my phone. In my 1 year of college, because I dropped out because it's programming's hard. I don't like thinking.
Oh yeah, college sucks. Especially something like that. I graduated from my 2-year degree after 4 years, and I probably should have dropped out. Anyway,
it's I think the first time I ever saw a Salty video was that Wimpy Kid video, because that one.
Oh, that's a classic.
That was probably recommended to literally everyone ever. So that's probably. Like,
dude, I watched.
Sorry to be basic, Salty.
I watched a lot of stuff from that era, like when I was first starting to make videos, and so that was always like a lot of them are just the ones where he's playing like the shitty DS games are some of my favorite ones. Like, there's also the one where it's like finding a boyfriend, and so he's like role playing as this character. But yeah, then you go and watch some more of his recent stuff, like the Barnyard video he did, or what was the one we were just talking about? That was Britney Blue Spheres. Yeah. And it's like, it's well, I don't know. He's been working with editors for like a while, so I think, and it's a lot of the same people still now. So it's not like things have changed. But, you know, like it's maintained the sort of vibe and quality without stagnating. It's aspirational in a way, because it's like that's when I was talking about professional, I was like, oh, like, you know, Quentin Reviews and H Bomber Guy work with editors and other writers sometimes. But every time you watch one of their videos, it's like, oh, yeah, no, this is a fucking H-Bomb video, or this is a fucking Quentin Reviews
when I talk
video.
about professional, I mean, like, they got exceedingly popular, got a ton of money, and then proceeded to use it to be like, look at all this. This is no longer a YouTube video. This is official, important business.
I think that's the thing, though, right? Is there's a difference between something actually being, like, more... you know, professional, quote unquote, versus someone just really trying to push for professionalism. And, well, I mean, part of it too, the part we haven't even talked about is, I think really what hurts it a lot of the time in the push for professionalism is YouTube as a platform really wants you to post often. And if you're trying to make produced professional videos often, and you're like, well, maybe I'm going to hire some people, that's a really easy way to lose a lot of your identity. Because even just doing videos yourself and trying to do them more often, especially if you have other stuff going on, personal experience, it's really easy to just like lose like bits of your identity without even trying to. If you add other people to the process and you're in this constant rush for constant professional content, inevitably it's going to be different, and a lot of the time worse, because at some point it's like, oh, you know, like, if YouTube's your job, obviously it's not going to be entirely like, this is all fun all the time, I'm constantly having a great time. But if the fun aspect of it just really falls so far down the priority list in comparison to the getting stuff out and making it polished thing, you kind of, I don't know, you can feel it, and that's why I deliberately make my videos kind of bad, because it's more fun that way.
Yippee! Hey, logos, we forgot about those.
Yeah, can we talk about how they straightened out the Pizza Hut logo and they got rid of the funny font? And also, we have 2 minutes on the timer. We could always extend if we need to.
10 minutes of logo talk.
10 minutes of logo talk. I'm resetting. I'm setting it for 12 minutes. Okay. The one that I was going to bring up, because I saw it the other day and it made me mad. Pringles, baby. Why did they do that to my man? Why did they get rid of the outline and all the color? And they changed the bow tie so it's just like I get it. It's like, ooh, sleek, minimalist, professionalistic. And I'm like, this is potato chips. Potato chips don't need to have this minimalist, professional look. It's potato chips.
Like, it's stupid.
They're supposed to be fun.
I think when I
think
of like a logo that got boring, I think of Windows. Because you start off with like, you go to like Windows 95 and it's like the nice like it's like 45 degree. There's like some curvature. There's the dots of the tail going out, and it looks nice, and you love to see it. And you get like Windows XP, and it was 2001, so it was like that sort of everything is trying to look 3D look that I think owns and rules and needs to come back. But you know,
I love the Windows XP logo. I think from a technical perspective, it looks worse than the previous logo, but I love it, so I don't care.
Yeah, look, I think Windows XP as an aesthetic is probably some of the best aesthetic for computer ever, because it's soft and bubbly, but like in a good way, you know.
I've been meaning to mod out my Windows 10 a little bit just to make it look more like Windows XP.
I think Windows 11 can do that better than Windows 10, but you know.
Fuck, will this finally be what gets me to upgrade so that I can downgrade?
Look, I mean, you can make Windows 10 look like Windows Vista of it, and Vista still looks pretty good. Like the logo's just like shinier, and that's fine.
Vista's okay.
And then Windows 8 happened, and it's like, we're gonna make it flat now. This is the flat era. We don't like shapes. And then Windows 11 is just like squares that are boring and we don't care. Except the icons on like the desktop of Windows 11 actually have some depth to them.
Weird.
So it feels
mixed messaging from Windows.
Yeah, it feels like potentially the sort of flat, boring art style of everything is going to disappear soon ish.
I have had that feeling because there was a tweet I saw, I forget from who, talking about it, where it's like, there are a couple company evolutions or rebrands where they're going back ever so slightly on the minimalism, and it's like, oh, can we finally use more than solid colors again? Is it happening?
Like Reddit, I think.
Yeah, Reddit was one of them. Yeah,
like the new Reddit logo is kind of horrifying, but there's depth. This is a marked improvement over. This is a flat picture of the alien guy. Who cares?
Yeah,
like there's depth there. Things are coming back. They're popping out. The world is healing.
We're finally bouncing back because culture truly is cyclical.
We're not hitting the refunification of the internet era, but we're getting at least something.
Yeah, I don't think it's never gonna truly be like it was.
We're never going back to the era where everything was GeoCities with that under construction GIF, and then you have like nice, awesome like Smash Mouth MIDI playing at like 500 decibels.
Yeah, I think because I see people saying stuff like that a lot. It's like, when are we gonna return? And I think the key piece will tie it all together. When are we going to return to the more fun aesthetics? Corporations will never give us that. We have to give us that. If you're a YouTuber, make your YouTube videos a little bad. If you make graphic design or art, give your things a little bit of crusty pixelated Windows XP depth.
It's okay to be bad. You have to be the
change. Yeah, because the thing too is like, it's like, oh yeah, it looks a little bad, and it's like, yeah, but if you like the way it looks, then go off. There's a lot of other people who also like the way it looks.
There's a reason why
It's the way it is.
I keep seeing these posts on a Twitter account, and it's called like Warriors Kitty, where it's deliberately trying to invoke that sort of 2007 sort of DeviantArt MS Paint style of Warrior Cats fans.
Oh, yep, I'm seeing it.
And it rules.
It's great. Like, that's the thing. It's like, oh, well, that looks kinda... Because I feel like sometimes that's the internal monologue people will have, is it's like, oh, that kind of looks unprofessional or what. And it's like, if you're doing it deliberately, it can be great.
I think...
You know?
I think all video games just need to look like PS2 games, and not when I say, PS2 graphics, and then you think of, like, Silent Hill Remastered, where it's like Comic Sans. I'm thinking PS2 graphics, and then you think of Kingdom Hearts 2 or Final Fantasy 10.
I'm of a similar opinion, because sometimes I'll just be listening to a video or something. When I was at work a while ago, I listened to a great YouTube channel, Thorgy's Arcade, does these really great fighting game retrospective videos. He's talking about like a King of Fighters 3D spin-off series on the PS2, and he's like, these games kind of look crusty and weird and bad, but there's also like all this, and they are kind of crusty and weird and bad, but there's also like just an abundance of like cool off the wall like extra content and shit in there. And it's like, yeah, I will take video games looking less like real life if it means not only that they look more like PS2 games, but they function more like them, where it's like, oh yeah, this has a really distinct style, and you can tell that a lot of effort went into like jam-packing it with stuff because they wanted to, because it was fun, because it's fun when people have the ambition to pack something with stuff.
Because they're not too busy focusing on all the graphics all the time, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I've seen people on very extreme sides of this debate, and it's like, yeah, I think games with ultra mega realistic graphics can be good, and they have their place, and that's fine. But I also don't think every video game needs to be that, and I think in the pursuit of that, we truly lose. So much.
I think Gran Turismo's allowed to do that.
Yeah, like Gran Turismo's a great example, because that's like the point.
Like it's all about cars, baby. Let's go. I mean, yeah,
it's a realistic car simulator.
Yeah, but
like,
some racing games could do with a bit more, less graphics. That way, you know.
Yeah, I like seeing all the again, this is just turning into like corporations bad, indie devs good, because yeah, there's a lot of indie racing games that look fucking sick.
I like
Turbo. Is it Turbo Heat Rally? What is it? Turbo.
I like the one with the option to toggle pride flags, and when you toggle it, it makes them all pride flags instead of some pride flag.
Oh, that's really good.
It was great. Ignore how I don't know how to say the word flag, apparently.
As long as the L is in there, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, no, look, Tumblr's reclaimed it.
Well, that's true. You could say it.
Tumblr's reclaimed it. We're good.
That's true. If anyone can say it, it's you.
But I won't, because have you heard me swear before? That's right. No.
That would be very un-you. But yeah, no, like, if you miss cool aesthetics and all this bright, flashy... I saw someone say, like, there was a tweet to the effect of, minimalism actually sucks. I like maximalism. I like when there's as much stuff as possible because stuff is good. And I think that was Charlie Bliss, the band Charlie Bliss tweeted that. And, like, I don't always agree. I think there are things that are minimalistic that are good. But, I also like when there's just a lot of stuff everywhere. And it's cool.
Sorry, Susan. Your nice black and white monochrome interior does not look pretty. It looks boring.
No, dude.
Give your kids some stimulation.
God, the videos of like children's rooms that are just in like beige.
Oh.
I was gonna say the amount of places I've been in that are just depressing because it's just white walls and like nothing anywhere, compared to like, damn, now when I go into my room, the walls are white but I have the Walter Whites, but I have posters hung everywhere and figures and shit. And it's like, oh, it's almost like when there's something nice and stimulating to look at around me, it's a better environment than when it's just depressing white walls.
Well, the only time when things are allowed to be all white is when it snowed outside, because snow is pretty.
That's true. That's a deliberate aesthetic on the part of nature. But no, like, what was I gonna say? It's that thing again where it's like we cannot rely on corporations to do this. It's the type of thing where it's like, hey, look into what independent artists and creators do. If you are an independent artist or creator of any kind, if it's music or art or gaming or YouTube, what do you like? What do you want there to be more of in the world? You can do that. You can just make it that way. One of the compliments I get on my videos somewhat often is that I have a little bit of, you know, that crusty little 2000s YouTube energy, which is deliberate. It's like I try to do on purpose, like making my videos still like not awful mic quality, not like shitty to watch, but to just have a little bit of like 2007 in there, because the internet was more fun in 2007 in a lot of ways. And so we can take the parts of things we like and leave the parts we don't like and mix them together.
Yippee!
It's cool when you do that.
How did we get
There's
here?
a lot of artists that do that too, and a lot of indie devs, and it's cool, and you should support that and do that and aspire to make the most you thing that there is.
So how did we get here?
Yeah, let me check my timer. Yeah, we have 30 seconds. Are there any shout outs to architecture? Shout out to the Target food court.
Shout out to...
That's something that I can't replicate because I don't serve food in a grocery store.
Shout out to Lego, I guess. I don't know.
Lego?
You could build houses in that.
That's true. You could be your own future with the power of Lego. Okay, 3 seconds. Stan. It's not called Victory Heat Rally, but it's something like that. Find it. I'm gonna look it up actually. So you can discover one indie game that's got good aesthetics. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Never mind. It is called Victory Heat Rally. I was right. Stan Victory Heat Rally. Anyway, how did we get here? So we ended by talking about
a motivational speech that it's okay to be bad.
You can make what you want, even if it's like, oh, this is bad or this is unprofessional, because if you like it, that's all that matters. Before that, we were talking about I think we kind of transitioned at some point because we were talking about like the corporatization of a lot of YouTube channels and culture.
We were talking about logos because logos got boring, but now they're getting a little less boring sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. We kind of steered the train back to talk about logos because before that we were talking YouTube and
making fun of JonTron.
Oh yeah.
Mandatory.
Screw Attack, JonTron. And I think we got there as sort of an extension of the can nothing be fun anymore? Does everything have to be professional all the time in a broader sense? And we got there because we were talking about, fast food restaurants. Taco Bell, I think, was the last one. We were talking about, damn, do we really need a fucking dystopian Lex Luthor drive-through only Taco Bell? Do we need Taco Bells to just be fucking boxes? Do we need McDonald's to be black and brown? Do we need Wendy's to not have any yellow in it?
Do we need Bulgarian McDonald's? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Like, come on. And I think we eventually got onto fast food because we were talking about things like Target.
Yeah. Surprisingly, really
know.
densely packed conversations this time.
Yeah, I think that was good because it diverged from the original topic, but it stayed on the same theme, and it somehow ended with a motivational speech.
It's okay. Everybody clicked off when they heard
it.
my intro of going into uwu speak anyway.
That's true. I mean, your intro was so memorable that I think everyone forgot that I led with a piss joke. So I think we're good. Anyway. Stand Victory Heat Rally.
Like.
Don't stand this podcast
wait,
where we do uwu speak and make piss jokes.
Wait, we gotta like.
What?
We gotta subscribe. We gotta comment. We gotta rate down below. We gotta,
If you're listening to this on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, you can listen to it on other platforms too if you want to. It's up to you.
But I'll only read the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, we like to read comments on YouTube. So if you're thinking about writing a comment about how I've wronged McDonald's by saying their food's not that good, go for it. If you make anything that has that kind of deliberately dated look or feel to it,
Johnny can put you in the
comment.
Johnny can put you in the playlist of cool Johnny videos or whatever.
Yeah, especially if you're a YouTuber, I'll maybe take a look. We do read the comments, so we do appreciate them. Anyways, next episode we might be talking less about piss and uwu speak, or we might be talking more about it. It really just depends what mood we're in that day.
Hopefully not, more.
I mean, if it's on topic.
Traded Dot, the bathroom episode.
Do you think we could do an entire episode about bathrooms where we stick somewhat to the topic? Would that even be possible?
Yes, but not because of pee or poo, but because of the bathroom itself. It has an aura, alright?
Would it just turn into a sequel to this episode where we talk about bathroom architecture?
Oh my goodness. Let's
tune in next time where we talk about bathrooms.
Tune in next time where we talk about carpeted bathrooms.
Piss.